Women only respect men who have this ability. Before I tell you what that ability is, let me tell you a story which leads into this point. Now, I was talking to a gentleman not so long ago, and he went on a road trip with his girlfriend. And they met a few months before, and they had a great connection. They slept together. There was no problems. Then they agreed to go on a road trip together around Australia. And the guy said from day one, the girl was difficult to deal with. She lands in Sydney and she's complaining about how it's too hot. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like the car he rented. She doesn't like the scenery. She doesn't like Australia. And he's thinking, what the hell's going on? Because the girl I knew a few months ago was very sweet, very affectionate, and really into me. And the moment she lands, she's just full of disrespect and she's complaining and she's nagging and it's difficult, right? So he's thinking, am I going to be stuck with a nightmare for the next 2 months as we're traveling around Australia? I thought I was going to build something with this woman. I thought I was going to have a fun time. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of what happened on this road trip, and it's pretty disastrous. He said they slept together on the first night and they literally never had sex again on the entire road trip. She complained that she didn't like it, she wasn't feeling connected to him. And he said that he just completely backed off, decided to give her space. And when she complained and when she was bitching about how she didn't like anything on the road trip, he said it was amazing. Personally, he thought it was incredible, but she just had a completely different opinion. And I said, it's not Australia, it's not the scenery, it's not the weather that she's upset about, it's you. She's upset with you. And as we dig deeper into this, we find out what the real issue is and what is it that women only respect about men. She comes over to Australia and she's just a fucking nightmare. She's awful. And this guy, he didn't put her in a place. He didn't show that he could walk away from her. And this is the point of this video. Women only respect men who can walk away from them. If you can't walk away from a woman, especially if she's showing a lot of bad behavior, a lot of bad attitude, if you can't walk away from a woman at that point, well, guess what? Her respect is only going to diminish. Her perception of you is only going to get worse, and she's gonna close legs. She's gonna make it even more difficult for you to be intimate with her. She's gonna come up with a million excuses as to why she can't touch you or sleep with you or be with you. And if you don't handle it the right way, it's gonna be a problem. Now, the major mistake that this guy made when he's traveling around Australia with this girl is that he didn't say, hey, look, I know you don't like it, you're not having a good time, obviously, you don't wanna be with me, let me just drop you off at the nearest bus terminal and we'll say goodbye. He endured 2 months of nagging and complaining, and he said he felt like he aged 5 years by the end of the trip. He said he had some white hairs, which he didn't have before. His face was a mess. He had dry skin. He couldn't sleep properly. It really affected him. The stress really affected him. It wasn't a pleasurable experience for this guy. Unfortunately, she ruined the trip for him. And unfortunately, this could have been solved within the first day if he just said to her, look, let me just drop you at the bus depot. Enjoy the rest of your life. See you later. I guarantee this woman would have done a complete 180, changed her tune, been very sweet, because he showed that he could walk away and she would have respected him. When a woman is going after you and she's attacking you, if you can't walk away, then it's just going to get worse and worse. And you'll find this in lots of situations, not just in a situation like this, but if you meet a woman for the first time and you're just getting to know her, if she's doing some tests and she's being difficult to deal with and you show her that you can't walk away and you'll tolerate any kind of bad behavior, guess what? She's probably not going to want to get closer to you. Now, I like to back everything up with a little bit of science and a little bit of evidence just to show you that it's not just my imagination which is coming up with this stuff, but this is based on real scientific research and real interactions with people in the real world. A 2014 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that women are more attracted to men who display a certain amount of emotional detachment. Now, not being completely emotionally detached, of course, but a certain amount of emotional detachment and shown that you're willing to live without her and to be able to walk away from her, which is healthy. And women are attracted to this. Another study, which is fairly old, by Lin in 1991, found that anything that is scarce, an object or a person that has more scarcity, is perceived to be more valuable. And this ties into something very important, and that is, if you show a woman that you can be less available and that you're willing to disappear on her and to make yourself unavailable and walk away, well, guess what? The woman's going to be much more attracted to you because she's going to perceive you to be of higher value. So let me know if you guys have experienced anything like this in your own life. Let me know in the comment section below. I always love to hear from you guys. And if you want to know more about building attraction, I highly recommend you get a copy of my book, Atomic Attraction. You can pick up your copy today by clicking on the link below.